Welcome to the greatest hockey show in the world. What's going on, everyone? Good week. I'm Nick. You can obviously find me at Nicker Jones on Twitter. You can find Trish at Trish Dangle and Kara at Kara Dibella, Dibella. What's going on, guys? How are you guys doing this week?
What's up, y'all?
So good.
Doing so good, huh? That any interesting, exciting stuff happen to you guys this week at all?
No, but I have a beer, so I'm all right.
Well, that's all you really need in this life, I think. Beers make the world go round.
Cheers.
I mean, I'm trying to be healthy. I'm with the old diabetes, I only drink when I need to. But yeah, hey, before we
Same. And I just always need to.
Oh yeah, I've seen your videos. That's an everyday thing for you.
We all have different needs.
Hey,
yeah, exactly.
The
We're
BLP
all on different journeys.
We are. Hey, but we're here for each other. You have a journey. I have a journey. Everyone out there listening has a journey, and we're here for your journeys. We just can't get involved with all the journeys, right? Because there's some shit. There's some shit that happened. But anyway, everyone,
Nick, you're giving off Bigfoot vibes right now. You're a little blurry.
Am I? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, I need better
More attention
cameras.
for us, Trish. It's fine.
For sure. I don't know why. I don't know why this camera goes blurry sometimes. It just does. It's just the way it is. But whatever. I'm probably not the best to look at out of this group anyway. So I'll let people look at you guys. But you guys should go on Apple Podcast and Spotify and check out Tindy Talk. That's our newest podcast. It's a podcast for goalies. Everyone says Nick hates goalies. I do not hate goalies. We got a goalie show in the system now. Once a week, they talk about goalie stuff. There's no player stuff. He's interviewing other goalies about goalie things. I don't know much about it, but, we got it, right?
I'm just waiting for my invitation to go on.
Well, hey, Joe he better jump on, right? He better jump on and get you. So
give your fucking head a shake, bud.
Yeah, so follow on I think it's at Tindy Talk, and Washed Up Goalie is his personal one, so.
And while you're at the follows, you should give us a follow, BLPA Big Show on everything, and follow us. Nick already told you where to find us. But yeah, BLPA Big Show. Give us a follow. Tell us what you want to hear. And rate, review, subscribe.
Us. Yes. Yeah. You know what? I'll just leave it to you.
We want those 5-star ratings. We want those top tier Nicker Jones Uber ratings over here.
Oh, 5 stars, baby. Hey, also check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/beerleagueinc. We use Patreon to do really cool things. Videos. We're hosting a military military appreciation draft experience. It sounds really weird when I say I'm going to draft military folks, but we're letting all the military people play for free. It's only military people. No one's paying to play in this, and we use things like Patreon to make that thing happen. And so support us. We have 2 huge supporters I have to say thank you to. I'm not contractually obligated. I'm just super fucking grateful that they support the hell out of us. And Chris Nall and Minchie are beer league gods, basically. They are here. They're here for it. They love us. We love them. Thank you. They donate at the highest level. But hey, donate and we'll talk about you. What do you think about that? Before we get started, there's a lot of stuff that we got to talk about. I mean, we're going to talk about some beer league warm-ups. We're going to talk about some fight stories. We're going to talk about beers in the dressing room. But there's some shit I need to get off my chest. I'm going to come in fucking hot. Right off the top of the episode, I'm just going to lay it.
It's true. He warned us. He texted us. He's like, ladies, I'm coming in fucking hot tonight. We're like, we're here for it. We're ready. Let's go. Let's hear it.
He's absolutely heated, and I'm ready to go to bat for you.
Let's fucking go, Nick. Tell us.
I'm tired of some fucking people, all right? Some people, not in general, not like you people, like Don Cherry. I'm not trying to get fired from my own podcast. I'm saying there are some people that I can't stand in Beer League, and I just wanted to call them out. In case you are one of those fucking people, you can chill. All right. First off, a different sport, not hockey. Beer league softball. You guys played beer league softball? You played competitive beer league softball? You know those pitchers that they fucking do this shit, like they wave their arms, they like double pump, and then they pitch it. Cool. It doesn't bother me when I'm hitting. You look like a fucking moron. But here's what bothers me. When they do that shit, and I fucking send one right back at them and make them smile like a fucking donut. Right in the fucking kisser, then they fucking bitch at me for hitting the middle. Hey, you don't be a dumb fuck, and I won't hit the ball at you. That's basically where it is, all right? Don't be that guy, all right? Next up, beginner players who I love and respect and love having in the game that say the only thing that we were taught was to go to the front of the net, which is true, but you don't go to the net and just stand there and don't go anywhere else. Like it's a system, right? It's like it's a cloud, a pond. It just ever moving. You don't just stand right there, all right? And then on to the goalies. The goalies that have those players that stand in front of them, and then they start chopping at their kneecaps. And I'm not saying that that's wrong, but what I'm saying is if you're going to write that check and then you're going to get mad when I come in and fucking cash it and take a run at you because you've been fucking hitting me from behind in the kneecaps all game, that's on you. Don't be one of those fucking goalies. Lastly,
don't be one of those defense that lets those guys stand in front of the net either.
That too. Hey, listen, there, and if you're going to stand in front of the net, there's a price to pay. I get that, right? Mm-hmm. But as a player that takes that abuse, there's going to be abuse coming back to you. You can't get mad at it. This is a symbiotic relationship. We all work hand in hand. If you're gonna take shots at me, I'm gonna take shots at you. Let's not get mad about it, right? Or if you don't like it, don't do it, right?
I'm lost because you said a really big word.
Don't worry about it, Carrie.
Just kidding.
Drink some more beer. Drink some more beer. Drink some more beer.
Okay. Before you move on to your next one, going back to like pitchers that are doing these like outlandish things before they pitch, do you feel the same way about guys that take, or whoever, people that take face-offs like in ridiculous ways? Like I played against a guy last night. I hope nobody's listening to this that knows who I'm talking about.
Call him out. Call him out.
So who like he takes face-offs in such a weird way. He like adjusts his feet like 8 million times and like stands a certain way. It's like it looks out of place. It looks silly, and like I just don't get it. And I've seen a couple people take face-offs in a weird way. Do they go in the same category?
I've got a problem with a lot of stuff, and I don't really like the face-off guys. Cool, do your thing, but if you're gonna sit here and adjust and do all types of shit, don't try to tell me what I'm doing in the face-off. And referee, just drop the fucking puck. It's a 10:30 beer league game. Just drop it. Who cares? I'm probably gonna lose the face-off. Maybe I'll win it. I don't care. Just drop it. I don't care if the guy is lined up crooked. Just fucking drop it and get on with the fucking game. All right. If you're a beer leaguer and you get tangled up with someone and you kick them with your skates, you shouldn't be a beer leaguer. No fucking place for that. And if you're a league that allows it and allows that player to come back, but then you ban other people that might headbutt someone occasionally, that sucks. Lastly.
Did you headbutt somebody?
No, this has nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. But
it sounded really personal.
In general terms. Hey, listen, I don't get close enough to anyone to headbutt. I try to stay away from people and the puck. I don't go near because those are the things.
Scuff that stick.
Those are the things that can hurt me on the ice, people and puck. So I stay way the fuck away. Lastly, if you're a beer leaguer and you come to a beer league tournament and you have to have someone tie or tighten your skates, you don't need to be playing beer league. You need to go find another sport. Do you have someone tie your cleats in softball? No. Do you have someone tie your cleats in soccer? No. Where else do you tie stuff? In other sports,
if you tie your shoes most days.
Yeah. Or you wear Velcro, but you're not having someone Velcro your fucking shoes for you. If you have to have someone tighten your skates or tie your skates, you're not a beer leaguer. Get out of here. That's what I got problems with. So fuck all of you guys if you're that people. Trish, Kara?
Kara has a thought.
Thank you. If you have to have somebody tie your skates past the age of, I don't care, beer league, whatever the fuck. If you have to have somebody tie your skates past the age of like, I don't know, what's acceptable, 8, 10? Just don't play hockey.
I don't know. My little kid is 3 and he can put on his own shoes.
An occasional tighten.
Yeah.
Pardon? Like there's a lot going on.
No, I was just saying my son's 3 and he can put on his shoes by himself. So
exactly.
Some of our people on the live chat are saying the beer leaguer that tries to teach the ref how to do their jobs. Okay, let's go there. I get it. I don't know all the rules.
That guy's a ref. No. Hang on. That guy's a fucking ref.
Fucking nerd right here.
Salty that he's shitty at his job.
Hey, okay, listen, I'm not trying to go there. I don't know all the rules, and I'm wrong, and I'm competitive, and I let that go. But let's not pretend like refs are 100% right all the fucking time. And I know you're there making your $30 a game, and it's 11 o'clock, and so you're not going to call any icings, even though it was clearly icing. Oh, he fucking hit it. No, he didn't. The puck was fucking 50 feet from him. No one touched it. Just blow the fucking whistle. But beer leaguers should understand they're not right all the time. And you probably shouldn't just get on with the game. And listen, I've questioned many refs. I was wrong a lot of times. I was right occasionally, but still just fucking, it's 11 o'clock. We're trying to get to the parking lot to have some beer. Just let's fucking go. Right. All right.
Mhm.
Anything else to add to that? Now that I've got that off my chest, and I feel way better. Like I had a
You
lot,
feel lighter. You look lighter. Your face is
Yeah.
now glowing.
I had that all like pent up, just ready to fucking go. And now I feel better. I'm ready to roll. I'm ready for this episode now.
This
We can
show
start.
is not only for all of your guys' entertainment, is also for Nick's therapy.
It's everything.
Yeah, this is his
Yeah.
therapy hour.
But-
Can I hurt you a little bit?
Oh,
Can I,
yeah, hurt
bring
me
you
good.
down just a smidge of a
Hurt
notch?
me good.
So polite asking
Yeah.
first.
What are you, Canadian?
I just want to make sure it's okay.
Could you
after
imagine
coming
being on
off
the
a
ice
high
like,
here.
hey, can I chirp you for a second?
Hey, I got a real good one cooked up, and I really want to say it to you. Do you mind? It's the great one's birthday today.
Who?
Ooh.
My birthday's not till February.
So funny.
Who are we talking about?
No, it is Wayne Gretzky's birthday today.
Oh, put money
And
in the
somebody
jar. Put it in the
posted-
jar.
I don't have to. That's a you jar.
Oh, that seems unfair.
Somebody today posted in the BLPA Facebook group a picture of Wayne Gretzky naked, like all sudsy. And I was talking to my roommate. She was walking behind me, and I was just mindlessly scrolling Facebook, and that happened to be on the screen when she stopped behind me, and I didn't even see it.
Mindlessly
And
scrolling,
she's like,
happened
"What
to
are
be
you
on there."
looking at?" And I was like, "What are you talking
It's
about?" I look at my
zoomed
phone.
in.
It's right over the crotch area. I
Hey,
just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure I
hey.
was getting the whole picture, but I was like, "Oh shit!" But it was like the best happenstance situation. But yeah, it's his birthday.
But
and
can
that's
you
how I found
like you
out.
look at that picture? Wayne looks like he's got a hammer, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Kara, if you haven't seen it, I'll send it to you.
Please send it to me. Can you send it to me right now? I'd
Yeah,
like to have
I
a look.
will. I mean,
yeah,
show
I'll
my
send it
live
to the group
reaction.
right now.
Old Wayner looks like he's really packing a hammer there. And I guess why wouldn't if you're good at
Do you guys
go.
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
just texted it over.
Thank you.
All right,
You're welcome.
Kara's going to the bathroom for 10 or 15. All right, so
Yeah, be right back. All you hear is
but happy birthday,
The commercial break.
happy birthday, Wayne Gretzky. Even though I think you're one of the biggest scumbags in the game, hey, I'm glad you're 60 years old. I hope I make it to 60 as well. Wish I had that hammer.
Kara, what are your thoughts?
I needed to turn my phone off immediately. I don't know why that grossed me out.
That did gross you out? Does it not look like he has a hammer?
Yeah, it grossed me out.
Oh, why?
It grossed me out. I don't know why.
You're not-
I thought it was hilarious.
You're not.
It's funny, but I'm not
Mhm.
looking at it from like a ooh, that's hot perspective. I'm like, yeah, I don't know why
Oh,
it grossed
no.
me out. Anyways,
Mm.
Interesting. All right,
Well,
guys.
okay.
Noted for the BLPA Bachelor. Don't suds yourself up before you hang out with Kara.
So no.
no, I just really feel like I don't think Wayne's like a super. I think he's like attractive almost more now as an older guy, like as a grizzly, But
Mhm.
like back in the day, I don't think he was attractive,
Do you
Yeah, I don't
just
think
do
so
you just
either.
like old dudes?
and that's why I'm just kind of like, oh, because I don't find him attractive in this. I don't want to look at it.
Hey, do you just like old dudes, Kara? Or is that what you're into?
Do I like old dudes?
Yeah. Sounds like it.
No, but I mean, I appreciate a grizzly. You guys like I use that term because it's like the male term,
Like the cougar.
like cougar, but
Mhm.
the male in
Gotcha.
male
I like
form.
that.
But let me ask you this: if we're going to talk about grizzlies and cougars, it kind of seems like cougar is acceptable, an older lady going after younger dudes. But it seems like on the flip side, an older dude, a grizzly, going after younger chicks would not be as acceptable in this day and age.
I think it's still fine. I think it's actually like you see it a lot now. It's a lot of girls are like looking for their sugar daddies, and nothing wrong with that.
I suppose so. But let's talk about something.
And I don't necessarily. I think the term cougar is more like going after the younger guys. I don't think the term grizzly is necessarily going after younger girls. I think it's just like as I don't know, as like a 30-year-old, if I were to look at a 50-year-old and think he was like an attractive guy, I'd call him a grizzly. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
silver
That's how I.
fox, like
that's
a
how I
term of
use it.
endearment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, okay, I can get that. I just didn't know what we thought on the flip side.
Do you approve?
I mean, I'm not checking out Wayne Gretzky as a 60-year-old dude, but whatever. I mean, it doesn't bother me either way. Hey, I say live and let live, unless you're doing shitty beer league things, and I'm going to call you out on my podcast. So,
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Can we talk about one thing? I know
We're
we
gonna have to
usually
make
talk
Cole
about
corner.
hockey. We talk about hockey, and I love hockey. I know there are other sports. I'm always pushing to talk about other sports. Are you guys baseball fans at all? Like Major League Baseball?
A little bit, yeah.
So today, they just released the Hall of Fame ballots for players of Major League Baseball, and no one got in. And so there's players like Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds and Curt Schilling, who I really want to talk about, that did not get voted in. And for example, next year is Curt Schilling's last year to be on that ballot. And he came out and said, you know what? I'm removing myself from the ballot. Basically, fuck the writers. They're full of shit. They don't know what they're talking about. And I'm going to let it go to the Veterans Committee and let them vote on it. And so I started doing some digging, and like these players, like Curt Schilling is a bad motherfucker. Like he was an incredible pitcher. His numbers are right up there with many of the great pitchers. He's definitely one of the top 2 pitchers, maybe 3, top 3 pitchers of my generation growing up. I mean, Roger Clemens, and then you have Schilling. Pedro Martinez was really good, but to keep him out of the Hall of Fame is bogus. And I started doing some research, like why are they keeping him out? And it looks like they tell people to vote not only on their stats, but basically on how they handle themselves in public as a human being. And he has obviously he said some things on social media. He supports his political affiliation, supports stuff that right now are not the most popular opinions in the United States of America. And I think that's what's keeping him out of the Hall of Fame. And I think that's bullshit, because I think the Hall of Fame should be the best players in general, not the best people. There's a lot of shitty people out there, And I think that you have to judge people on this Hall of Fame about how good they were. Like Barry Bonds broke the fucking home run record, the single season home run record. And they're not letting him in because he was connected with steroids. And yeah, he probably did them. I'm going to go on the record and say I'm 99.9999999% sure he did steroids. Just seeing the trajectory of his career and how his body kind of changed as an adult, which doesn't usually happen, how his head got so big. Like I'm talking about really got big, not just in a figurative sense. But the game of baseball benefited from these guys using steroids. Back when baseball was kind of going downhill, these guys really revived the game with their, chicks dig the long ball thing and just hitting dingers all over the place. And I just think it's bullshit. I think it sucks. And I want to get your thought. Maybe you're not a baseball fan. Maybe you're a hockey fan. Do you think that stuff like steroids should keep people out of the Hall of Fame? Because it's not like they got in trouble during their playing days. No one came in and kicked them out of the league while they were here or while they were playing. So why now are you keeping them out of the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I think that's a mix of 2 arguments for this specifically. It's like can you separate the artist from their art? Like, a myriad of people recently coming out with like all of their allegations and scandals and everything, and still having great products behind them. And can you still support that and enjoy that, knowing that the creator did X, Y, and Z? And then I think it's like the rules have now changed. Do we honor that or what it was when it was happening? And I think when we talk about steroids, like if they weren't testing, if they weren't like regulating that at the time, throw them in the Hall of Fame, put a little like note about what was happening at the time so that the historical context is there. But like if he was a great player putting up great numbers and he deserves to be in there for like his stats, then he deserves to be in there for his stats.
I think at the end of the day, when you think about steroids, did it give people an advantage? I'm sure it did. I am a scientist, but that's not my area of study. So I can't tell you that, Barry Bonds taking steroids let him hit the ball such a percentage further. But as someone that can hit a baseball quite well, I might add, you still have to be able to hit the baseball. Like just because he took steroids,
right.
Like you couldn't take, let's say Big Dad, for example, who plays in a lot of our tournaments, who's good at hockey, but probably horrible.
My best friend.
Yeah, probably horrible at the rest of everything else in his life. I couldn't give this scrawny little dude some steroids, and then he's going to go be a major league leading home run hitter. That's just not the way it works.
There's still skill involved.
Yeah, did it enhance it? Yeah, probably. Did players like Brady Anderson in the 90s go from obscurity to having a season of hitting 50 home runs? Yeah, they did, and that probably happened quite often. But I just don't think you can keep people out of the Hall of Fame based on the stats that the game of baseball benefited from during their career. At the end of the day, I just think it's bogus. I think it's ridiculous. And I do want to point out the greatest ball player of all time, Chipper Jones, my hero, who the only reason I got into podcasting is so I could interview this man. It'll happen one day. Never took steroids. He clean ball player, just naturally gifted athlete, one bad motherfucker. And so Chipper, come on the show, please.
I feel like I had a lot of thoughts. Yeah, I had a lot of thoughts while you were talking, but now I just forget them all because you just kept going and going.
Oh, that's what I'm good at. That's what I'm good at.
Yeah, I mean, same though. That's the thing is like same. Had a great conversation in my head though. No.
Hey, can you imagine if I took steroids to podcast? I'd be so fucking good at podcasting. If just taking steroids made you better.
Chipper would have already been on the show.
Exactly. If I was taking roids, Chipper would already be here. 100%. 100.
So here's the thing. I think like, I don't know. I just feel, would he have been that good? What if he had set all those records and done everything that he did if it wasn't for steroids? You know what I mean?
He was good.
I might have an unpopular opinion there where I just like personally, I think that like doing something great for the game and being the natural best at the game are two separate things. And then on the flip side of that, like on the political stuff that you were talking about, I think like, I don't know, if you're not like a great person, but you are still good at your sport, unfortunately, I think you still should be in the Hall of Fame.
100%.
Because you're great at your sport, regardless of what kind of person you are. Like, and because of that, you're probably not going to be the most loved, and it'll be controversial and all that stuff. But a fact is a fact, in my opinion. I guess. I don't know.
I want to tie that comment back to what we talked about last week and what I promised you that I would do. I went that same night after our podcast and watched Tiger Woods, that documentary. And
part 1 and 2?
Part 1 and 2, finished them off. And that's something that they talked about. Like even in the thing, when he had his falling out, when he was just jackhammering all these women.
Exactly.
He fell off. But then he started winning again. And Nike even came out with an ad that said, winning solves everything, right? So it doesn't matter what type of person. And hey, I'm not dogging out Tiger. Tiger was doing Tiger things. Like he wanted to go jackhammer. So he jackhammered. Like who am I to judge a jackhammerer, right? I'm not, that's not me. Right. But I think the media kind of plays darling sometimes, and they affect a lot, even in the world today. Like they affect a lot of things, and you can see it. Like it's always over the top. It's never just saying, "This is Tiger Woods. He cheated on his wife, and now he's going to play golf." No, it was a whole to do where they had to go. they had to go find out what's going on.
Tiger Woods, absolute fucking douchebag. Let's see how he does.
Do you think Tiger Woods banged a chick last night? Quiet, everyone.
I would watch golf if it was like that.
But hey,
can you imagine?
Love it.
But like you see it even on Facebook. Like today, like Complete Hockey News posted something about the Toronto Maple Leafs goalie having a leg injury, and he had a run-in with Matthew Tkachuk the other day, who fell on him at the end, and everyone's going off about it. Well, I mean, the guy, he did fall on him, a scramble in the net, and Matthew Tkachuk he's a shit disturber, and I love it, right? But you can see the way the media they play onto it. And then you see like when people try to make their argument for the Leafs, like Leafs fans are like, oh, what a dirty UFC kick to the head. And I'm like, one, it wasn't a UFC kick because this isn't UFC. This is hockey. All right. So it wasn't a UFC kick because this isn't the fucking UFC. He fell on him. Okay. And for me, it's funny when you listen to people like that, that are dogging on Matthew Tkachuk playing like that when they were a fan base that loved fucking Nazem Kadri. Right. Like he was a dirty motherfucker too, but I'm just saying that I think that in society, people have a way of taking things to an extreme, and then instead of just reporting what happens and leaving it at that, it's always a buildup. It always has to be bigger than what it actually is. It always has to have all these adjectives to make it sound either way better or way worse than what it is. And that sucks. And I think that's what's happening to Kurt and Barry Bonds and to that kind of stuff. And I just think it sucks.
Yeah, and I think, like, just top up there, I think, oh my God, I literally just totally lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. Keep going.
Okay, if Matthew Tkachuk was a Maple Leaf player, all the media in Canada would be talking about how he's bringing back old school hockey and they love it. But because he's not,
he'd be the new Ty Domi.
100%. But,
Love that guy.
But you know what I'm saying? Like it just depends on how they want to spin it. It's not just reporting what it was. You know, Matthew Tkachuk had a scramble in front of the net. He fell onto the player. It's no, Matthew Tkachuk had a UFC fucking kick, jackknife, rear naked chokehold on the goalie. He fucking took him out when really what happened is the goalie has a hurt leg. Didn't do anything to his head.
I remember what I was
Where
going to say.
did that jog your memory?
Media and media and stats are different. Media and statistics are different. And that's like kind of my point for the Hall of Fame thing. It's like with Tiger, for example, Nike dropped him as one of their athletes when this all first happened, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's fine, but like that doesn't mean that Tiger still isn't the greatest golfer of all time. Mm-hmm. Like that's
I totally agree.
I mean, it's hard.
Media's to sell. Stats are just facts.
And it has
stats are just facts. And then of course media is to sell because everybody just wants, like us included, everybody just wants people to watch what they're doing and to distribute what they're doing and for what they're doing to be like the talk of the town, right? Like the gossip and shit. So
you want that ad money.
Blow things up to be controversial. That's why I said last week that I wanted to fight Justin Bieber because no one's going to give a fuck if I pass the puck to him. They're going to give a fuck if I punch him in the face, you know?
I watched the documentary, by the way, and I still want you to punch him in the face. And I still want to punch him in the face. I have so many thoughts. None of them are like good for this podcast, but it didn't sell me on him being a better person. So
interesting.
I mean, so that leads around to us. We are media as well. Like we produce media content for people to regurgitate. And maybe we do like being controversial. Would I have called Wayne Gretzky a scumbag if I wasn't trying to get people to interact with that?
Yes, you would.
I would. Yeah, 100% I would. But I think that I think that I mean, it's with the whole Barstool and the NWHL thing here recently, like there needs to be holding the media and people to a higher standard. But as you and me, Kara, who want that, we want that clout, that fame. We want people to look at us and see what we're doing and take part in it and interact and all that stuff. Could you imagine being Tiger Woods with all the media coverage that, like, there was one time where he was at a tournament in that documentary, he's standing there and all those cameras are out taking pictures and he just says, motherfucker, like just, whoa, look at all this shit. Like that would be absolutely insane. And I don't know. I mean, I think maybe I would. I don't know if I'd be able to handle it. Like everywhere you go, someone's there. It would, like, we want it, but we don't want it.
It'd be so fun for a day. And it's fun and we want it because it's just like unattainable almost. So it's like, let's shoot for that. I don't know. There's something. Yeah, I know what you're saying. But it's interesting though, because Tiger didn't do it for that. He did it to be the greatest golfer of all time. You know what I mean? Like that's why he's a golfer.
Or did he do it because
this all just
his
comes
dad?
With the territory.
Did he do it for? I think he just did it for his dad. I don't think it started out as like. I think it was two different things, right? Like it's crazy the amount of pressure that was put on him by his father. At
such an incredible young age. Could you imagine if you started putting a hockey stick in your son's hands right now? And like, I know that you are doing that and stuff and it's like fun and whatever. But if he's like, Daddy, I don't want to do that. And you're like, no, you're going to do it. Like you would never fucking do that. That's insane.
Because didn't he at some point, like in the documentary, he like asked somebody to ask his dad for him if he could play another sport. Yeah. Yes. And then, and he was like, oh no, he's golfing. Like, come on now. Like, it's one thing to be excited. Like, if your kid picks up hockey and they're excited about it, absolutely. Like, run with it, enjoy that, whatever. But if they're, like, asking to do something else, you got to give them that. I mean, I'm not a parent, but, oh, God.
I think easier said than done, for sure.
From the gloves.
Someone just called me out.
Shut about it before you can hear us. What?
Someone just called me out on the thing, so I just had to, I wanted to, if I'm going to get called out for it, Just gonna sit here with these fucking badass gloves.
What did they say?
They
For
said
anyone not watching, Nick is wearing his snakeskin gloves now.
someone said
He
Nick
had to
wears
get up
eagle
to go
snake
get
gloves
them.
for the media
The
The
attention.
amount of secondhand embarrassment that I have right now is just skyrocketing.
Hey, my views
It's
are
worse
my
than white gloves.
hey.
Oh,
Listen,
it is.
my views are my own. My gloves are my own. They don't reflect back on the people that podcast with me. I wear them because I want to, not for media attention. Because I have things that I like, and okay, I don't really even like these all that much, but I just I didn't think they existed. I thought when people posted them, like pictures of them, like who would wear these, like I thought people. I thought they were made up. I thought they were Photoshop gloves. And then when I contacted Eagle and asked about them, they're like, no, we have enough to make 2 or 3 of them. And I said, well, okay, I can't not have them now. So here we go. All right, now I got them. Snakeskin. Deadliest hands in beer league. So
Can we move
Okay.
on?
yeah, let's talk
Yeah,
about
we're
beer league.
moving on.
I hate
Talking
this
about
conversation
deadliest
so much.
hands. Last week, Nick, you mentioned getting the shit kicked out of you in Boston, and I wanted to hear that story.
And
Yes.
I
Spill the tea.
I wasn't wearing these snakeskin gloves, or I would have fucking handled that situation way fucking differently. All right, I would have probably walked out of there unscathed. But as
I feel like our video is going to get banned from YouTube if you don't take those gloves off. So if you could, there's like a certain period of time they'll allow it, and then they just ban the video.
when did I get me getting beat up in I mean, it is hazy because I was drinking Tullamore Dew, a lot of it. But I don't remember what started it, but I remember where we were at and where the night kind of turned, but then it gets a little hazy, mainly because I got the shit kicked out of me in Boston in an alley right beside Hennessy's Irish pub. And I believe there's Union Oyster Houses right there as well. There's a little alley right there. That's where I got the shit beat out of me. I was drinking a lot of Tullamore Dew. We went around the corner, and there was a karaoke bar. And, I'm drunk, so I'm karaokeing. I'm going at it. There's there was some girls there, and me and my friends were talking to them. And just, friendly chat. Like we're all married guys, so we're just out having fun doing that. We were singing karaoke with them. And we went to leave, and the next thing I know, I'm getting the shit stomped out of me in an alley in Boston. I mean, I don't understand it, but I'm stronger for it.
We have no idea,
Don't know who did it. Don't know who they were. I just know that I got the shit kicked out of me in Boston. And you know what? I mean, I have to assume that I was asking for it. Maybe not that night, but I've wrote a lot of checks in my life that haven't been cashed. And so that could have just been cosmic karma coming back to me. So I accepted it. I moved on. I mean, no harm, no foul. I woke up, some red marks, some scuffs, and then got the worst hangover I've ever had. And then I puked all over Boston. Maybe there was a concussion.
We need to get some of the people that were with you on the podcast to tell the story from their angle.
Because I have a feeling that you're leaving something out here.
Well,
Somebody's got.
I don't remember.
Well, like I said, Tullamore Dew. Like that's what I remember.
Mm.
It was drinking Tullamore Dew.
Okay.
I mean,
Sarah, do you have any good brawl stories that you remember?
Yes, but I'm just putting a note into our folder for future podcast topics because the whole going on trips and married players versus single players thing, I think could be an interesting topic to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably one of those topics
yes,
that you should.
Let's do that after
stories.
Dex Omaha, so that I can have some recent
Okay.
stories.
But I think that topic between married and single players should probably be on BLPA After Dark. Something that
We'll see how Omaha goes.
Right? Trisha's going to get into some business.
Hey, all right.
Trisha's going to get into some business. I can already tell.
Find Trish and let's make some fucking stories happen. Boys
Tell them on After Dark
and girls.
After Dark only.
Oh my God. That's wow. The problem with this live Facebook and the chat is I get people that are messaging me, but I can't see who's messaging me because someone just wrote.
That's almost more fun.
Well, I know, but someone
All
wrote,
Dan.
because you're a little bitch, I'll cash your check. And I'm like, well, who is it? I want to know what's coming this time. And hey, I'll put on those
Doesn't matter.
I'll put on those
see.
eagle
I'm here
gloves and
for
let's
it.
go. Right? I'm here for it too.
Let's live stream a cage rage.
I've gotten my ass kicked. That time in Boston I did many times in my life, but I've also kicked a little ass in my life too. So, I mean, the jury's out on what'll happen. I don't even know who this is. If you're a big old boy, I'm probably not gonna mess with you. But if you're small like Big Dad, let's fucking go.
We're gonna need you to tweet us your stats.
Yeah. Well, hey, hey, how big old boy are you? What's your height? What's your weight?
Unveil yourself.
Check. Let's find out what's going on, and then we'll talk, and we'll do a fucking whatever. We'll do a charity boxing event. I'll get in the fucking thing and throw some hands with somebody.
Okay, what if it's a female?
Well, I mean, I see. You know what's so hard? Like the world's changed so much in a short amount of time. Like I was always brought up that you should never touch a woman. Of
course,
like that's, I mean, that's how I was brought up. But now I feel like, it's almost like if a woman is asking for it and you don't do it, then she's like, well, you're supposed to treat me equal. And so sometimes I'm just confused on what I should be doing. Like I want to go with what I was taught. Like you should never touch a woman. But if a woman wants to box me, like, like what should I do?
Couple thoughts on that. I feel like, cause I was going to be like, fuck it, Nick, let's go. I'll fight you.
My money's on Kara.
Then
Are we taking bets?
KY Jelly Wrestling.
Would you actually give me your all? Like, would you actually? And obviously, it's like hypothetically, of course. Say like I fell over or something. Obviously, you're not gonna like keep going, which you wouldn't with a dude, anyways. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I was just wondering if you would.
I mean, I don't. I'm always. It's so hard because I don't want to sound sexist, and because I'm not.
No,
I think
totally.
Everyone's equal. But like I was brought up with a certain set of values, and if I go against those values because I'm pressured into what society wants me to be, does that make me a bad person? Like I don't want to hit I don't even want to hit a dude, right? Like I'm talking big talk, like let's go and let's throw hands. Guess what? Fighting hurts. Even if you win,
Totally.
Fighting fucking hurts. I really don't want to. I will, but I don't want to. But I think, I don't think I would. And that's not me being sexist. It's just, I just don't think that's the thing to do. Now, if we're going to go Estonian topless honey wrestling, sure, let's go at it, right? Let's fucking take off our tops and fucking go at it, right? Yeah, I'll fucking throw you right in the fucking depths of that fucking KY jelly and go to town. But I'm probably not going to throw any punches. Okay, I mean, I'm saying. Obviously you've never done it.
It's interesting actually, because even in like Shinny and Beer League or whatever, like I've been playing on the ODRs a lot recently, and like I notice even when I'm off and waiting for my turn to go back on, like I notice that when there's a girl in the corner or that has the puck, like the guys are gonna tend to go a lot easier on her. And like my sister played D1 NCAA, like I was out there with her and she's like fucking toe dragging around most of these guys. But they're still just like they bump into her slightly. I was watching and they bumped into her slightly and they're like, oh, sorry. And I'm just like, and she literally said, it's cool. I'm out here because I can handle it. And I was like, fuck yeah, sis. Because like, I just find that so many guys do that, which is tough because it's like, they're just being nice guys. And like you said, Nick, like that's just how you were raised. Right. But then it's like, okay, but I'm out here because I can play and keep up and I don't need like excuses made for me, Yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny that you say that because I feel exactly the same way. And I was telling one of my teammates this last night because it was the same team that we played against last night. One of the guys on their team, like last season or season before, whatever, we were like, I was shoving him in front of the net. I'm defense. He's a forward. So, he was in the crease. I'm trying to get him out. He's a little bigger than me. He turns around and throws me down. And then he kind of realizes that I'm a girl and he goes, oh, I'm so sorry. I was like, yeah, but you weren't like a second ago. So for you to go ahead and say that now, like you obviously meant to do that. You knew what you were doing, but you thought it was okay because I was a guy.
You can fucking handle it.
Yeah, for sure.
Down. Like,
exactly.
Fine.
Like you don't need to apologize. And it like the bumping and apologize, like that happens all the time too. And I feel like it goes either extreme though. It's like somebody either is going to see you're a girl playing at their level and go harder on you in the corner, or they're going to go easy. Like there's no real, like, I'm just going to play you like everybody else.
Playing fairly, honestly, like the way that you play regardless of gender. Totally.
Yeah.
I know.
It's like, I just want equality here.
I know. But then on the flip side of it, it's like, just in general, women aren't built like men. We're, just in general, we're not as strong as men or whatever, or as tall.
Right. But if you're my size, come at me the same way you're gonna come at everybody else. If you're like a huge dude, like, because there's some guys that are way bigger than me out there. Like, be smarter when you're coming at me for sure, but like, still play me. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm out here walking around everybody. I'm not
See,
that
like,
good.
I wouldn't agree with that. Like, no, come at me like you would anybody because I'm here because I'm taking that risk because I can keep up.
Hey, Kara.
See, I think like the other night I had a bigger guy come at me in the boards, and because he's taller than me, the way the top of his body came into my head, I slammed my head straight into the glass. So
that
like,
would
just
happen to
play
a shorter
smarter.
guy too.
For sure, but I'm saying play smarter. So like, if you're bigger than, and yeah, I guess bigger than anyone,
Sure.
play someone smarter. Because like, the only time I ever think about like that kind of situation is in the boards, and like, I'm just so like constantly worried about getting my head thrown into the glass because that
Right.
sucks, and I've been concussed that way before.
Sure.
So like, I guess that's regardless of gender, it's more of a size thing. Like, be conscious of your body.
So let me ask you this, Kara, as devil's advocate, it doesn't matter to me. Would you play in Calgary? Would you play as many beer league games if all your start times were at 11:15? 10:45, 11:15?
What does this have to do with this?
Well,
Yeah, I'm
because we're
confused.
talking about equality, and Saha has way earlier ice times than any co-ed or men's league team, and a lot of that has to do with because it is a woman's organization. And I'm not saying that that's my view on things. It's because I've talked to a lot of women teams trying to start women's leagues, and they're saying, no, we're not playing any time past 10 o'clock. And so my argument is, well, if you want all things to be equal, we can't just pick and choose what's equal and what's not equal. It's either equal or it's not. And you can't say, hey, because we're the women's league, we get 7 o'clock, 8:30 times, and all the dudes are playing at 10:30. I mean, don't you think that's a little hypocritical?
Gender equality has nothing to do
No.
with what time we play hockey games at.
But what I'm
just gonna
saying,
say
you
that.
say you want equality, and I'm saying I'm devil's advocate. I don't care what time I play, but I'm just saying, like, hey, we're the women's league. We're playing earlier times. We're not playing any later. And I'm like, okay, well, if we're all hockey players, then why are you saying, okay, because you're a men's league? And rinks have said this. The men play later. Well, there's an argument there, right? I mean, it's not.
I guess, but also a lot of the women are mothers, and so they are the ones that are up in the night breastfeeding the babies and then getting up and still going to work in the morning and stuff. So it's like, if the guy's got to go, like, we could, I don't think we should.
You could also argue like barrier to entry for women's
destroy
hockey versus men playing hockey, and the barrier to entry for women is so much larger that if you can cut one of those pieces down and give them better ice times, you're going to have more women starting to play the game versus men barrier to entry.
Do you see where your argument, like when Kara says that, well, I know plenty of single dads that can say the other side. So when we're going to say hockey's for everyone and it's equal, it's really not in a sense, right? So, and like,
okay, but how many men's leagues, how many men's beer leagues are there, and how many men's teams are there, and how much more is there
100%
versus like the 10 teams in Calgary that there is total for all of Saha?
10 teams. There's like 50 teams in the league. Saha is like 47 teams total. It has 5.
I think we're getting into like an area of an argument that none of us are smart enough to have.
No, Saha, let's check our facts and we'll come back for next week on how many teams Saha has.
Okay. Like it has 5 divisions for sure. Or it had 5 divisions before Corona.
Right now there's like 3 or 4, there's 3 teams in each division. Now because of COVID.
I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm just saying that we're talking a lot about we want to be treated fairly, and I'm telling you what I hear from the other side. Like, I've worked in adult hockey in Calgary for 8 years, and so I hear this. And I remember we were trying to start a women's league, and I was kind of the one put on point, hey, go out and start this women's league. And so we had women's teams from H&A, and they basically said, we're women, we're not playing at 10 o'clock. And I was like, well, I mean, that's the ice times that are here. And they're like, well, no, we're not. And I was like, okay.
Well, I went on a tangent because I just think equality is different than what time you play at. However, yes, I would play at 10 or 11 or whatever time.
I have to.
And I have.
Yeah, no, I get it. Like I said, I'm just throwing out different opinions. It doesn't bother me when I play, as long as I get to play. And right now, I'm not fucking getting to play at all. And it fucking sucks.
I know.
So.
Anyways, can I tell my fight story?
Yeah, I want to hear it. I've been waiting this whole time.
Okay. So I was really young. Like, I was in like high school, middle school. But basically, like, there's stupid high school drama, and we're at the junior B game in my hometown. Everybody's watching the junior B hockey game, and my dad was there at the arena watching the game, and somehow me and this girl from this other friend group ended up both sticking up for our friends who were kind of having a spat. It was fucking stupid. Long story short, we like go outside, and I'm kind of like, okay, is anything gonna happen? You know, like she's like, let's fucking go. I'm like, okay. So we're standing there, and I'm just kind of like, all right, whatever. So I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Let's leave. And she's like, this chick is like, oh, look, she's like, Kara's and her friends are so scared of me, blah, blah. And I was like, listen, I'm not fucking scared of you, but I'm scared of you, but I'm not a fucking idiot. So like, I'm not going to run at you. But like, if you want to make me defend myself, then I'll do something about it. And she just walked up to me and just the most pussy, like, I was like, bitch, you gonna regret that. And I just fucking pummeled her. And then like it didn't get broken up. Like there was just a huge crowd around that gathered and it didn't get broken up. And I just kept fucking crushing her. And then like it got to the point where she had like kind of tried to pull me over towards like the wall of the building. And I was like, all right. And she was grabbing my hair. So I was like, fuck, okay, I'll grab her hair. So I'm just literally like pulling her head into me as I'm punching and I'm just like fucking socking her. And then at one point I was like, it was so awkward. We're like against the wall. I have her hair and like her head's against the wall. And I was just like, kind of like, what's it called?
Like, oh man.
Like hook, like
everybody's
a hook.
Yelling. Yes.
Kind of like hooking her. And it's just like, I just could hear her head like ding, ding against the wall every time. And then she kind of started to stumble a little bit. And I was like, listen, I'm not going to fucking curb stomp the girl. I'm not going to keep punching her like when she's on the ground. So I just like took her and just like threw her back into the, like into her friends, into the crowd and just said something about like, don't ever fuck with me. So cool. I know.
So badass.
So badass.
If only you said toodaloo, motherfucker, as you walked away. That could have been the start of everything.
This was like, oh God, what year would this have been in? Like 2000, early 2000s. So it definitely was not the time where we knew about that fun phrase. Anyways, so then I'm like shaking, adrenaline's fucking going. I'm like, oh my God. My yearbook that year had everybody was like, her boyfriend thanked me for beating her up. My yearbook that year said like, I'll always remember this year is the year you beat Ashley up, blah, blah. And then, so I go back into the rink and my dad, like he wasn't coaching that year, but he's involved with the team. Anyways. And so he was like hanging around talking to the coaches, like whatever they're doing. And I just go in and I was like, Dad, we got to go right now. Like, we got to go. We have to leave. And he's like, why? What's going on? What's wrong? And I was like, I just got in a fight. I need to leave him. We need to leave immediately. And his buddies are there and he looks at me and he's all concerned and he goes, did you win? He looks at my hands and my knuckles were all banged up, but he looks at my face and stuff. He's like, okay. And I was like, yeah, Dad, of course I fucking won. Let's fucking go. And he's like, yep. You didn't raise a loser. Let's go. That is his favorite story that he tells about me to this day. I'll be like, my favorite Kara story is, he's like, I'm shooting the shit with whatever his buddy. Kara comes in, Dad, we need to go. I just fucking beat the shit out of some girl. And the best part about that story is that like a few years later in high school, like in 12th grade, we ended up becoming really good friends. And a few years ago, I went to her wedding and did her like wedding makeup, and we're actually really good friends now. Oh my God, I love that.
Hey Trish, have you ever been in a fist fight on the ice, Trish?
No, I've gotten into like some shoving matches and stuff, but nothing. I've never been into like a full on fight. I'm too Canadian. Can't do it.
You know, when I first started playing beer league, my wife basically told me that if I was a grown ass man that didn't know how to skate and I had to go out there and feel like the only way I could play is to fight people, then I shouldn't be playing hockey at all. And I've never gotten to I've gotten like pushing matches and all that stuff, but never a hockey fight before. And I guess I listened to her. I always thought it was kind of silly, mainly because I have trouble standing up, you know, while I'm playing. So to stand up and throw and take punches probably wouldn't work out too well for me.
It's hard on the ice. You're doing something like I mean, it's physically hard because you're on skates, but also like because you're doing something so fun that like, yeah, you might be heated in the moment, but like to actually throw a punch at somebody, like you've got to be in a pretty weird headspace. Like, I don't know. I have a blast when I'm playing hockey, and that's when like I zone. Yeah. And like I'm zoning out and I'm like not really thinking. So unless somebody like, I don't know, it would have to be pretty bad because I've gotten into some pretty shitty situations with people and like still haven't thrown a punch. So it would have to be pretty bad.
Plus, a guy that's wearing snakeskin gloves probably shouldn't be fighting either because I can't or because too
That guy's gonna
dangerous.
get fought.
You wouldn't even drop them. You would just
Yeah.
fucking fight with your gloves on.
You got to. And that
You're
was
saying the whole every punch gets a hit.
that was a joke that one of the people listening, someone listening said you can't wear snakeskin gloves and not get in a fight. So I'm gonna go the difference. Like the guy that's wearing snakeskin gloves, he's probably not fighting because either one, he's no good or he's way too good. So you be the judge.
I feel like liquor usually has to be involved for a beer league fight, you know?
Or
I've seen some sober beer league fights.
Yeah,
Like, are you really that rattled? Can't imagine a universe where I'd ever be so mad in a beer league game that I'd
I
drop
don't-
the like I just
It's the Chads.
well, I
It's
don't
the Chads that have nothing else going
want to
on.
throw shade at my
Sorry, Chad.
hometown and where I'm from, but it seems like where I started playing hockey, what hockey was to them was fighting for a lot of people that didn't like grow up. Maybe we didn't grow up around the game, or maybe they just saw on TV and they tried to emulate it. But it seems like, especially to me, like where I was playing in Oklahoma, way more fights in such a small capacity compared to like Calgary, where he came and there was like 187 teams in the Calgary League. And maybe that's also because you're also playing the same guys. So maybe drama also, but I do definitely like it. Even seems like I remember when we had the AHL team come to Oklahoma, the Barons, a lot of people were mad because they were like, there's not any fighting in the AHL. And it's like, yeah, you fucking donkey, because these guys are trying to make this a career and go to the NHL. They're not Central Hockey League players that are just there to fucking fight each other in warm-ups like the Blazers were, right? So I think that a lot of people just see that. They see hockey as hey, you fight in this sport, so, well, if I play, I have to fight. And I think that kind of stings because I've seen some people get seriously hurt over some stuff. Like a guy that I was in Texas, he got kicked while he was down, and that doesn't have anything to do with my beer league bitch fest from the first of the episode. But he got kicked in the face and had to have like 8 stitches, and it's like, holy shit! Like he could have died because he got kicked in the face with a skate, all because of some silly. I mean, we were playing in the lowest division in a tournament in Dallas, Texas. So it's kind of, what's going on. But I do think, and here's another crazy thing about hockey and fighting is there are people that off the ice are the nicest fucking people that you'll ever meet. They'll do anything for you. They're friendly. They bring beer, everything, but they get on the ice and that switch flips and they become fucking dick bags, real fucking butt babies.
Those are the people that you're kind of like almost embarrassed that are on your team, because you're like literally out of the rink, off the ice, nicest person ever, but like I kind of want nothing to do with you while we're playing.
I get so embarrassed if any of the, and myself included, like if I get too heated and start losing my shit, I'm not getting into a fight, whatever, but like if I start like running my mouth or whatever, I get embarrassed. Like 5 seconds later, I'm on the bench, I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. Like we're a beer league. You don't need to do that. And when my teammates are doing it, I'm like, I promise they're nice. I don't know what's happening. Like, I'm so sorry.
Also, you're like, Chad, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think sometimes you do get carried away. Like I've done it before. Like I can remember I got into it with a ref at a tournament and I was running the tournament and I don't even remember I do remember what led to it. So I'm trying to help the ref with a call, like, hey, all power plays start in the offensive zone. That's just our rule. And I was helping the other team saying, hey ref, this power play needs to go over there. And he's like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, no, like, listen, I'm running the tournament. Like, this is the rules. He said, shut the fuck up, motherfucker. And I was like, whoa, like you can't call me a motherfucker. Like, that's not cool. Like, and we got into it and eventually he kicked me out of the game. And so he told me to come with him. And he said, we're going to go call the tournament director. And I'm like, all right, let's go do it. And so he's like, what's your name? And I'm like, I'm Nick Fleehart. And he's like, well, I'm calling him right now. And he did it. And he goes, oh, you are the tournament director. And then we had an argument and like, I mean, I was justified in arguing with him, but the way it was handled, like it was embarrassing. Right. And so I can see other people, like they would be like, well, what's Nick doing? That's embarrassing. Like, holy shit. But I do think that there's times you kind of get caught up in things and you don't realize till after that you're like, fuck, I was a fucking donkey there.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So that's our fighting story.
That would have been hilarious though. To be you in that situation.
Oh yeah, it was real hilarious until now that came out. Instead of the rule of don't be a dick, it became don't be a Nick. And I was like, All right, cool. But anyway, so I think
Yeah, can that be what we call this week's episode?
don't be a
Don't
Nick.
be a Nick.
Sure, if that's what you guys want.
Don't be
do.
a dick. I mean a Nick. I mean,
Whoops.
Beer league Knicks, I guess. But hey, listen, I don't really condone fighting, and that's the one thing I'm worried about. Like, we're doing this military appreciation draft experience where it's all military folks, and I've been to some military people tournaments, and I get it. It's high level testosterone. It's badass people that I want serving in the military, fighting for me, just want to win at all costs. I get it, but I see a lot of fights going on at military tournaments. Like when I see a big rumble, it's military guys going at each other at a military tournament. Or that's what the videos you see. And I think it's going to be, when we do this military appreciation draft experience, I think that's one thing we're really going to have to hammer home. No fighting. No, you can't fight. If you fight, you're kicked out. I can't even say, hey, if you fight, we kick you out with no refunds, because they're not paying for it. They're playing for free. So I think we're going to have to really, and I even got people in the chat here saying, go Army. Like they know what it is. It just gets heated. And I don't condone fighting. We definitely can't have fighting in the draft experiences for sure. So
what else do we have going on in the chat tonight?
it's just,
I feel like our friends are quiet.
no, they're not. No, they're not.
It's Dan telling everyone to sign up for Ann Arbor.
I mean, there's a lot of chats going on. I mean, they're talking about the show. When Kara was talking about her fight, Big Dad said this is 100% fake news. And so there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat. But what's
we need to set up a
that
page
fires me up.
You and Big Dad.
That fucking fires me up. Yeah.
Maybe you and Big Dad should
We'll
do.
get Kara's dad on the podcast to tell his side of the story. And then Ashley as well. Same podcast.
Absolutely. I could FaceTime them both in right now.
We can get confirmation on this.
Dan also said, Trisha, sign up for Ann Arbor, please.
Maybe.
So what's on next? We're getting near the end here.
Okay. Yeah, we're throwing it down with some would you rathers. Are you ready for some pretty tough ones?
I'm ready.
Ones,
this is fun because we actually don't know what these are.
I said surprise me. And listen, I'm not fucking my cousin this week, all right?
I really hope not, but we don't know what you're doing in your personal time.
Cousin. He's gonna fight his cousin.
There we go. All right. We're gonna start it off nice and classy. Would you rather chug a beer out of your game-worn skate or wear your game-worn jock as a face mask? Or Jill?
Skate. I do that all the time anyways. Next.
Nick?
I don't want my dong sweat in my fucking face. So, I definitely drink the beer out of the skate.
I would too. It's a quicker experience.
You know,
even if it's just locker room to out of the rink for the match, like that's still too much time.
Like, trust me, I have drinking many a beer out of skate, shoes, boots, you name it.
I basically found Kara for chugging beer.
Gets the people going.
How do you deal with your skate afterwards, though?
You just let it dry.
Oh, you just have to air it out.
Yeah.
Takes a few days.
Kind of nasty. I was gonna say.
Oh, it's fucking gross. If you have to play, if you're in a tournament and you have to play the next day or something, yeah, it's not fun. But
hey, you do what you got to do. You do what you got to do. Mm-hmm. I actually have a skate boot made of glass that has whiskey in it, and it's delicious.
Oh, that's fun.
So, hey, you know what? It stinks when we do Would You Rather and we all choose the same one.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, I just feel like it's the best answer.
It is. You're right. It's all good.
It is the best answer.
We get to agree on things sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody can take a shot when we agree on everything.
Oh, well, we just did that.
Oh, yeah, we don't have any shots though. Next week, we'll start
listeners only. All right. Next one.
We should make a drinking game.
Would you rather be? Yeah,
absolutely.
No, we should.
Every time. Yeah. Okay. We'll talk about that for next time.
Mm-hmm. All right. Would you rather be the worst player on an amazing team or the best player on a bad team?
Well, I'm going to be frank. I've been the first one my whole hockey career. So I would like to go on the flip side and I'd like to be the fucking Gretzky scumbag on a beginner team.
Okay.
Just because
this is tough. I've been on both.
Because you've already had the other.
I've already lived the other. I live it to this day. I live it. I'm tired of fucking living it. So I'd go the other one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm torn. I've actually been on both sides of it. Mm-hmm. Like when you're good on a bad team, you're kind of like, okay, a challenge would be nice. But it also is like so fun and like strokes your
Mhm.
ego way too much when you can just like fucking dipsy doodle around everybody, you know?
Mhm.
But then being shitty on a really good team, yeah, it's not fun. It's not that fun. But you're also like inspired because you're like, fuck, this is fast hockey. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm taking forever to decide.
No, it's okay.
I would rather be the worst on a really good team.
Okay.
What about
I'm
you, Trish?
torn. I'm torn for similar reasons. I feel
Yeah.
like being the best player on a bad team, you get that ego stroke once in a while. You can also help the rest of the team get better, and you can set people up for goals, which is super fun. Not that I would know, but if like that aspect would be really cool. And then being the worst player on an amazing team, you have that great opportunity to be the person that's learning from great people. So like it's tough
Exactly.
either way.
Yeah.
So I think I'd almost rather, like, this has never happened to me, but I'd rather be a best player on a bad team to like help other people because I like teaching and stuff.
Oh, I
So I
like
think that'd
that.
be super fun.
No, here's the
The
deal.
sweet answer. For
I think
Kobe.
we dog out, like a lot of people dog out ringers for dropping down and playing. And I'm telling you, if I had the capacity, I would have to go a different route because I would fucking do it. I want to be the best player on a bad team. And I would just go out there and destroy people. And if I could one day, that's all I want. I just want to be able to do it one day. A couple of the listeners chiming in with our drinking game. They want to know what beer is being chugged. Said we need Malort for these shots.
No.
And then somebody said, how about the drinking game is every time the blonde girl, aka Kara, lies, take a drink. We will all
I
be
really
hammered.
said
Like two
that.
pieces of blonde hair.
We
Like,
will. They said
Blonde enough for the
every time I
distinction,
what?
I guess.
Every time I lie?
every time you lie, take
Yeah.
a drink. We'll all be hammered. Everyone drink right now. That was a lie. She's lying. So just telling you, that's just what the hey.
Oh, wow.
You got fans. Hey, even negative fans are fans, Kara. Okay.
You know what? They hate us because they ain't us.
So
That's
all I know,
exactly-
Fuck you guys.
you can
also.
guess who it was, by the way.
Straight up, fuck you guys.
Side note,
And
fuck
that
you.
is the truth.
Love
Big
it.
Dad.
All right, we're gonna move on. One more would you rather,
Okay.
and then we're gonna do some fight liney cut. Would you rather be able to see everyone naked,
Yep.
or have everyone be able to see you naked?
I want to see everyone naked. Every single person.
I want everybody to see me naked.
You don't want anyone
Oh,
to?
those were so fast. I need reasoning.
Why? Because I like seeing naked people. Like, what's the deal? Like, I want to see everyone naked. Why would I want to walk
That
around
I
just let
assume.
everyone see? I just want to see naked folk.
Because some people are really, 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 really gross naked. I don't want to see my like grandparents. I don't want to see my dad.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. I also don't want them to see me. However, like for the general public, I don't know. I look pretty good. So have at her, boys. I don't know.
Hey, can I tell you a
I feel
story?
like you'd be desensitized to it after
Oh, is
a
that
while.
also a lie? Like, oh, should we drink now?
Hey,
No, because he's gonna make you prove it, or
Hey.
like ask you to prove it.
Kara, can I tell you a story about the funny thing that you said about seeing people naked? You don't want to see your grandma or your grandpa naked. When I first moved to Calgary,
Yes.
like in Oklahoma, there wasn't many chicks that were playing hockey and definitely not dressing in the locker room, right? So it was kind of foreign to me. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like, oh my God, there's chicks in here. But the first dressing room I walked into, it was me and a very pretty girl in there. And we're talking and she just gets butt naked. And I'm like, all right, hell yes. Naked chicks. It was awesome. She's changing. I was happy. I loved it. All right. I'm like, I love Canadian hockey right now. Hot naked chicks, dressing room. Yes. But then a little while later, there was other people that came in. One of them was a very large woman who, she probably 6'3", probably 250 pounds. And she was talking to me and also got butt ass naked. I can remember what she looks like, but not the really good looking girl. And so there's it's cool to see naked people, but you're right. Sometimes the bad ones are what gets seared into your brain. So
Let's not say bad, because nobody's body's bad.
the ones you don't want to see,
No body shaming.
I think it'd be traumatic to have like
the ones you're not
people that you
attracted
don't
to.
want to see, like your boss.
Yeah, it's not your
like,
type.
Fucking
And
people
that
to see you naked, like that's kind of traumatic and whatever. But like I think it's more like you don't have any memory of them naked in your head forever, like you just said.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's why I chose that, because I'm just like, nope.
No, I agree. And then it's also like it just becomes your thing. Like it's like, oh, there's
Yeah.
that guy. He always wears a cowboy hat, whatever, and now we don't notice it. Oh, there's this chick who's always naked. Now we
It's
don't
just
notice
always
it.
naked.
You know,
I thought I was gonna be wearing just a sports bra for this episode, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
That's what was happening.
Yeah.
Next week.
Well,
tune into After Dark.
But you know,
yeah, exactly.
Hey, by the way, people that are listening right now, if you're on live or even if you're listening wherever you get your podcast at, we are the girls want to do BLPA After Dark, where they talk about taboo subjects, but stuff they don't want to talk about like in public, right? So, are you guys interested?
This is how I described it to somebody: is that we want to get tipsy and talk about things that we don't want our parents and bosses to hear.
And if people,
and that's just that.
And but here's
do you guys want to hear that too? Do you guys want us to do that? I feel like I want to do that, like, anyways with you, Trish. But like, it's whether we record it and put it out for our friends and also our haters.
Mostly for our haters.
You know, Big Dad would. Yeah. If it's behind,
Big Dad pay to listen to us tell salacious stories.
If it's behind a paywall, Big Dad would for sure listen to that. If Kara's on it, 100%. I know it. I know for a fact.
Oh.
We'll have to ask him, how much would Big Dad pay?
Okay. Why, does he have a crush on me or something?
Well, I mean, I don't know. You're the only one he's talking about, so probably.
Oh, it's like classic the boys on the playground that are the meanest to you.
Yep. And
he's gonna shove you into the dirt.
Oh yeah, because that was probably a lie.
Some of our listeners are chiming in on this. They said, no, I would not want to see everyone naked. There's a lot of non-groomed people, beef curtains, huge hammers, all the undersides that be too unbearable to keep seeing. Like, imagine all the people who do not wipe properly. So they're really.
I didn't even think about that.
They're really digging it in. They're really digging it in.
See, everybody, just be naked.
And like that's when I went over to like Europe.
I always wipe properly.
No worries.
You guys wipe? So whenever I went to Europe, I noticed that like the nudity thing was definitely not.
Just kidding. What?
Was definitely not as prevalent. Like it wasn't a big deal. Like it was just like, oh, there's naked chicks. But you know, it, like in the States, it's obviously way more taboo.
It's a little more taboo.
For sure. And someone says that Big Dad would pay the largest amount he could without his wife finding out. So.
Ooh.
Yeah, me and Big Dad's wife are friends. She piped in on Facebook, and I was like, "That's fucking funny."
Hey, do you know what her name is? Big Mom.
Big. I want to call her Big Mama.
Well, no, Big Mom.
Like
that's offensive, Big Mama. But Big Mom, that's what we call her, Big Mom. So, but anyway, all right. So that's all the would you rather?
You say that's offensive?
Yeah.
Why is that offensive though?
I think people just would take offensive to it. So she just wants to be called Big Mom.
It's like Big Papa.
Oh,
it's like,
I'm so sorry. I'm truly not trying to offend anybody. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. All right. Let's end this up with a fight liney cut.
Let's move on.
Fight liney cut.
Let's do it. Okay. We're getting a little spicy for this fight liney cut. We're getting a little sassy.
My dog wants to join in.
Got peanut butter?
So I'm really mostly interested in Kara's dog's opinion on this fight liney cut. So we're going into the diva realm. I was thinking Super Bowl. Disappointed that it's the weekend. Doesn't seem like a Super Bowl person. But any of these three ladies could have rocked the Super Bowl halftime show. One of them did. I think one of the other ones did too. But I don't remember things. So fight liney cut, Mariah Carey, Britney Spears, Jennifer Lopez.
Oh.
I'd much rather do traditional.
Those are my girls.
F Marry Kill on this one.
Nope, you're not doing that. Fight liney cut. Put your head in a different space here.
Well, when you start bringing up all these girls that when I was in junior high and high school, I was fantasizing about, it's kind of tough to be in a different. Now
this is a challenge for you, a mental challenge.
Well, okay.
I'm ready.
You're not great at this.
Who is it?
Okay.
Mariah Carey, Britney Spears, J-Lo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I want to fight Mariah Carey.
Ooh, why? I need reasonings for all of these.
Okay, so J-Lo is like, could 1000% kick all of our asses.
100%.
But Britney Spears, like her when people always ask you like, who would you ever want to like have a meal with, alive or dead? Like, obviously there's people that I would choose before her, but like she is always in my mind because her life is so fascinating, and I just want to know like everything that happened, and like so for that reason I'd put her on my line. So I want to be friends with her. But and I guess I'd have to cut J-Lo, but I love J-Lo, but I have to cut her.
That's fair. That's fair.
And Mariah Carey's just fucking Mariah Carey, and she's just annoying and like shut up. So I love her. Like I love her and I love her music, but I don't know. I just feel like her personality wise, I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, no, I agree. I actually think like so Mariah Carey like won't even let her children sing her songs with her because she's Mariah and she needs to take all the parts. So like she would be the most selfish hockey player of all time. She's that center. She's got a tinted visor. She's going for it.
Yeah, but Kara doesn't like the puck.
Like I feel like for like athletic reasons, I would maybe put J-Lo on my line, but like just for personal, like I need to know. I'm just very interested in Britney Spears' life.
Yeah.
I would put her on my line.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're up, Nick.
Yep.
Okay, so it's Britney Spears, J-Lo, Mariah Carey. J-Lo for sure. I'd play on her line for sure. Like I think she's got that winning attitude. Like she's gonna give her. If anyone messes with me, she's got my back. So I'm going with J-Lo on my. And
also, you can just like look at her whenever you want. Like,
she's gorgeous.
I mean, all these girls are attractive to some degree. If I'm gonna fight somebody, I would fight Brit just because I think she's shaved her head in front of everyone. Like she's got some crazy, but I think Mariah Carey's crazy too. And so, but I think I could handle Brit more than I could Mariah. So I'd fight her.
And then you could say, "Hey, that's Britney, bitch."
Yeah. Who's Britney, bitch, is what I would say. And then
somebody take this microphone away from me. I swear to God.
So then
no.
Then I'd cut Mariah. And then if we were doing fuck, marry, kill, it would be fuck Britney, it would be marry J-Lo, and it would be kill Mariah for sure.
Yeah, I'd be the same
right answer.
If it was fuck, marry, kill. I love how you just had to toss it. Okay, so I get chirped for doing a fuck, marry, kill when it's actually fight line-y cut.
Chirp away. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you.
But now that it's people like,
you
oh, by the way,
both.
I just gotta throw that in there.
Yeah.
You could have done both.
Listen, if it's fuck, marry, kill, I'm fucking all three of them, and then okay, because it's all hypothetical. So there we go. Is that okay?
Yeah, I mean, same.
Yeah. That's fine.
Duh.
We'll allow it.
Go ahead,
I actually have the exact same answer as Nick, and for pretty much the same reasons. Like J-Lo, she's tenacious. Genius. I want her on my team. She'd be the honey badger of the team. She'd just be gone. I love it. I'm into it. She'd also be a team player. Britney, I'm gonna fight her. I think Mariah would be too scrappy for me. I think she would play dirty in a fight. I think she'd get those nails going. She'd pull hair. She'd be that bitch. Right. So with Britney, I'm gonna fight her. Even though like we'll chat after. We'll have a beer after and chat about it, and we'll mend bridges. We'll be the Kara and Ashley in 12th grade. And then Mariah, I'm cutting her. She's selfish. I don't need her around. Don't want her there. Bye, Mariah. Thank you for your Christmas music, but otherwise, don't need you.
You like that song? Like that? Like the first time I hear it's all right, but after that, it's
because I'm a human.
It's just fuck. It's like
argue.
It's done. It's over.
I'm not arguing.
Just like this episode. Done. Over.
Smooth.
Is that it?
That's what a professional.
That's it.
Wrapping it up.
So here's the deal. I want to say thank you to everybody that is on these lives.
You're welcome.
And they're not you guys.
Also, thank you, Kara.
Yeah, just the people that are interacting with us on the live show. Like you guys, like there are a lot of funny comments, and I got to find a way that you guys can see them at the same time as me because it is fun seeing the stuff. I mean, I like when people are chirping Kara. It's good stuff. It's good times.
I like it too.
I'm here
Keep
for
it.
Boys.
And give me your best.
Go find Kara over at Kara DeBella at all the major social media networks. Chirp her there. Slide into those DM. Hey, listen, she's available. Bachelorette, slide into those DM. Hey, I know you're chirping her on the public, but secretly, you know, we want to send you on a date with her and we want to be there.
Oh my God, Kara. The guys that like really shit talk you in public, if any of them slide into your DMs, we need to hear about it publicly.
Well, you guys do it.
But
and
but
then
what
we'll
happens? What happens if you fall in
chirp
love? If you
you
fall in love
on
with one of
here.
them?
Pardon?
If you fall in love with one of them and now you've put them on blast and that could have been the one. Now
Love
they're like,
is for pussies. Next.
well, I
Next
do
question.
love. All right. Other than that, go find Trish over Trish Dangle on Twitter. You can find me at Knicker Jones on Twitter, the Knicker Jones on Instagram. Have a good week, everybody. Thank you guys for being a part of it. Thanks for
BLPA Big Show everywhere.
Yeah, thanks for supporting everything that we're doing, all of our draft experiences. Hope we'll see you there. If you come to Omaha and now Ann Arbor, you can probably catch Trish doing some inappropriate things. So that's basically it.
Turn it up. Be a beauty. Listen, subscribe, rate, and review.